just start by stating a few facts. We all know that drunk people have no common sensibility, and that they're sometimes prone to hallucinate. And they also sometimes get to slow purpose and do some rather strange things. Like, And these two facts sometimes proves a problem here in Bergen, where we have thousands of drunk people wandering aimlessly around the two city lakes, Lungegårdsvann and Lungegårdsvann, every weekend. And swimming in these lakes are not safe, because both are quite polluted. But this was not always the case, as these lakes has a long and intricate history together.
Yes, Lungegårdsvann. Do you remember back in the day when we used to be connected? Just look at this beautiful old photo of us.
Wow.
That's me right up there.
You're so beautiful, little
Yeah.
We used to be so close. They had a channel that connected us.
Yeah.
But in 1926, Bergen Kommune started building up the city around us. And now there's only a small underground waterway that connects us.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. We're so far apart now. Yeah, and Bergen hasn't been treating me very nice over the years.
Yeah, no, they haven't. And because the water quality in both these lakes are quite bad now. And to figure out where it's safe to swim for drunk people in the middle of the night, Bergen Kommune, in collaboration with UIB, have started to monitor the water quality in these two lakes. And Bergen Kommune have sampled phosphate and E. coli in Lungegårdsvann and just E. coli in Lungegårdsvann, while students, fantastic students of UIB, have sampled phosphate, E. coli, and biodiversity in both lakes.
I think I have to take a bath in Lungegårdsvann.
No, listen to me. You don't want to do that.
Nick is talking to me.
Yeah, you have to listen to me. You don't want to go swimming in me. I'm in real bad shape. Locals have been using me as a dump site in the 18th century to get rid of all of the garbage. And they also poured sewage into me. And since they cut me off from Lungegårdsvann, things have only gotten worse. Now, my E. coli levels are very high. They're not as high as they used to be, which means they're showing an improving trend, actually. And I also have toxic phytoplankton in me, and also chemicals in my sediments. And I have very high levels of phosphate, which may be the reason for the high abundance of phytoplankton and why I look so green all the time. And my phosphate levels are actually 17 times greater than of Lungegårdsvann. So in fact I am showing an improving trend, but you shouldn't go swimming in me at all. You should find somewhere else.
No problem. I just go to Lungegårdsvann.
Well, hold on, Mr. Drunk Guy. If you're going to take a bath in me, maybe you should consider where is the best place to do that. The E. coli levels that are near the opening between me and Lungegårdsvann are pretty high, as compared to the other side away from Lungegårdsvann, which the E. coli are actually much fewer there. So, also there's greater biodiversity on the other side away from Lungegårdsvann than there is at the sites near Lungegårdsvann. I wish I could tell you that this is what the biodiversity in me looked like, but actually there are far fewer species in me that I would like. However, I have ostracods in me, which is a small crustacean that is very sensitive to pollution. So my water can't really be that bad. So if I was you, I wouldn't go swimming on the side that's nearest Lungegårdsvann. I would rather go swimming on the side that is away from Lungegårdsvann. If you absolutely had to.
Yeah, you shouldn't listen to Lungegårdsvann, you strange person. Because quite often really high levels of E. coli are measured at the site Lungegårdsvann recommended to you. To put this in perspective, you can have the line that shows excellent quality of E. coli, that's below the green line. and between the green and the red line is acceptable levels, and all above the red line that's unacceptable levels of E. coli, meaning that these E. coli levels could cause health problems. Basically, it's unsafe to swim there. So don't swim in Lungegårdsvann. Both these lakes have an improving trend, but these really high levels, they are just so high and they don't seem to change by years. So that's the main reason why it should not swim there at all. We can link E. coli levels with precipitation in both lakes. And we see that the highest level of E. coli appears around 30 millimeters of precipitation in both lakes. And because, as we all know, when it rains, it rains. So how should we make it possible to take a refreshing midnight bath in Lungegårdsvann? Well, we do think that by cleaning up Lungegårdsvann, a lot could also be done by Lungegårdsvann, because the connecting channel, all the poo and stuff from Lungegårdsvann comes into the Lungegårdsvann through that channel. But the problem is how to do this. Lungegårdsvann, do you have any ideas on how to do that? How to clean up your little sister?
Well, actually, when the biology students from BIO300 were out sampling in me, I overheard them saying something brilliant, that perhaps iron infiltration into, that's actually not Iron Man, but iron, the chemical infiltration into the Lungegårdsvann might actually precipitate out some of the phosphate, and that might be an interesting way to stop the cyanobacterial blooms, because phosphate is a limiting nutrient for cyanobacteria in the absence of nitrate. So it could be possible that using iron, we could clean up the phosphate, which would clean up the cyanobacteria, which would clean up all the chemicals at the bottom of the sediment.
Yes, but in the meantime, this can take several years, many years, like 10, 20 years. So in the meantime, if you should want to take a refreshing bath in 2 in the morning in downtown Bergen after visiting several of the best pubs in town, then you should probably go to Nordnes. Or just break into a swimming hole or something. And that's it.
So, last but not least, stop it then. 1 minute. We would like to add some acknowledgements. So, first of all, we would like to thank Karin for all your creative and very, very helpful input during the meetings, and sometimes your boost for our motivation. This was really, really nice. And so, furthermore, of course, I want to say thank you to Christian Irgens, our teaching assistant, who did a really, really great job and who showed unfailing patience in cleaning up some misinterpretations of scientific writing. And furthermore, I also want to say thank you to Peter Larsson and Mikael Herdal from UIB. And I don't really know why it's not shown there, but we edited it. But of course also Lars, he's here right now, from Bergen Kommune, for all your support and the back and forth emailing. It was really, really nice. Thanks a lot.